This is the Agribusiness Report. I'm Tony St. James. We're joined today by the Honorable Dr. Roger Marshall. Dr. Marshall represents the big 1st Congressional District of Kansas. It's good to see you.
Tony, you forgot to mention it's the biggest agriculture producing district in the country, and I know that several other Congress members are trying to knock me off that mountain, but I'm going to keep claiming it, and someone can wrestle me for it. It's good to be with you.
And you are a member of, I think it was by a predecessor of yours, called the powerful House Ag Committee. He's now
the all-powerful.
All-powerful, there it is. And you're also a member of the Science, Space, and Technology Committee. We'll work all of this in just a moment, but let's start with general ag conditions, southwestern Kansas. What are we seeing?
Well, Tony, I think we've actually seen some improvements here the last couple of weeks. And, we're looking at some Milo prices up to about $4.17 a bushel at the Great Bend Co-op where I'm from. So that's a huge improvement. And it looks like, wheat's bounced back a little bit and soybeans are coming up. I saw over $9 a bushel. I know it's not where we want it, but we've made some progress. Still struggling, though, in the cattle industry right now. Fat cattle still, about $1.03, $1.04. So we got some work to do there. We think about crop conditions. One of the farmers told me recently he'd rather have a lot when you don't have a good price than have nothing when there's a great price. So I think we got some pretty good crops set in there in the field looking at my drives.
And some would point back to some trade agreements that are in place, especially when you're talking about Milo or sorghum, because the demand from the Chinese has been huge.
Yeah, it is, and we're sure we'll use some good welcome news. But I think that this president has done an incredible job negotiating ag trade. We've now renegotiated 55% of our ag export markets, South Korea, Japan, China, Mexico, and Canada. So it is great to see record amounts of corn being shipped along with some sorghum, Milo. We still call it Milo back home. Up here they call it sorghum. So we're excited about those opportunities, and we're just happy to quietly be shipping sorghum to China.
We have not mentioned, though, a crop that Kansas is so well known for, and I'm talking about wheat at this point. There was a program rolled out earlier this year, the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, CFAP, and now CFAP2, but there's a big difference for CFAP2. Tell us about it.
Right. Well, folks back home, of course, are planting wheat right now, and they're starting to harvest a little corn. The wheat's going in the ground. The Milo's getting ready to be harvested here in a couple weeks or a month or so. But you're right, wheat got left out in CFAP 1. But it is a big part now of CFAP 2, and we're very happy about that. Worked very hard with Senator Roberts, Senator Moran, of course, from Kansas, as well as a lot of other Congress members up here too. I think of Congressman Lucas and Conaway leading the way. So we're proud that we've got that back on. We needed it. We saw the wheat price drop from maybe over $5 a bushel down in that $4, $3.75 a bushel. So we needed some help, and this will be a welcome news for a lot of Kansas farmers.
Another, I'll say this was a scare, if you will. Agriculture found out about the possibility of not seeing that funding continue beginning October 1st. Through the replenishment of the CCC, Commodity Credit Corporation. That was a big scare this week.
It really was. I was shocked to find out that Speaker Pelosi was going to do one more harm to agriculture, that she took some $30 billion from the first Corona help for agriculture to pay for some of her social programs, and then to find out she was going to shortchange the CCC program was equally as impactful. And folks, I didn't really understand all the mechanisms, but that CCC program pays for the Title I funding, which a lot of people are kind of expecting here to get some help September, October, as well as a lot of other challenges. I think of some of the disaster relief as well.
And as part of that,
so let me stop it. It was my alarm for my next interview.
Oh, well, good. And part of that is also things like the ARC and the PLC program, which have also been utilized as well throughout Kansas. But you mentioned a couple of others who helped with that CFAP program earlier, and they're two from Kansas. One, Senator Moran, the other one, Senator Roberts. But we're going to say goodbye to Senator Roberts across the way here at the end of this year, aren't we?
You know, I guess I'm not saying goodbye. We're going to say so long. And Senator Roberts and Frankie have been great mentors to my wife and myself. And I just opened up the Eisenhower Memorial down here in the mall, so I want to encourage all the Kansans to come see that as well. But those are some big boots to fill. We've had somebody on the Senate Ag Committee since 1996, and I think it's real important that we keep somebody there. And I always tell folks one of the reasons they ought to consider supporting us for the U.S. Senate is I'm the only candidate that can sort heifers and steers. Grew up in agriculture, my first job off the family farm, working at a local sale barn as well. So working hard to fill some pretty big boots.
Well, we wish you the best. Thanks for taking the time to stop by, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
Tony, great to see you.
Again, it's the Honorable Dr. Roger Marshall. He represents Kansas 1st District on today's Agribusiness Report.